Hi everybody, welcome to For the Republic. My name is Brett. Today we're going to talk about the latest allegation in the Brett Kavanaugh controversy. Let me preface this video by saying how bad I feel for Brett Kavanaugh and his family to face such a heartless machine as a Democratic Party. A new allegation arose today, helmed by Michael Avenatti, the creepy porn lawyer, coined by Tucker Carlson, the great Tucker. And Michael Avenatti came out with this alleged situation with a woman named Julie Swetnick. Julie Swetnick apparently or supposedly has multiple security clearances, which somehow give her credibility. And she came out with an affidavit this morning. I was at work and I read the affidavit, and I immediately had a few questions that I hope the Republicans raise with this third accusation. Like the first two accusations, there's very little validity to them. They're flimsy at best, and these are kind of nebulous accusations. And the way that she did it is almost like a person in the 5th grade came up with this concocted plan to delay the Kavanaugh confirmation. And I believe after reading this and after you guys see this video, you'll believe that this is all concocted to stop Kavanaugh's nomination. So I'll drop a link below for you guys to check out her full affidavit that she submitted, and I'm going to read some of it, and I've got a few questions about the portions I'm going to read, and I'd like you guys to ask them as well. Please share this video on Twitter, on Facebook, with anyone who has the capacity of critical thinking. Paragraph 7, we're going to start there in her affidavit. This is after Julie she just got to know Brett and his friend Mark Judge. It says, following the first introduction, I attended well over 10 house parties in Washington, D.C. area during the years 1981 through 83, where Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh were present. These parties were a common occurrence in the area and occurred nearly every weekend during the school year. On numerous occasions at these parties, I witnessed Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh drink excessively and engage in highly inappropriate conduct, including being overly aggressive with girls and not taking no for an answer. This conduct included the fondling and grabbing of girls without their consent. Paragraph 8. I observed Brett Kavanaugh drink excessively at many of these parties and engage in abusive and physically aggressive behavior towards girls, including pressing girls against him without their consent, grinding against girls and attempting to remove or shift girls' clothing to expose private body parts. I likewise observe him be verbally abusive towards girls by making crude sexual comments to them that were designed to demean, humiliate, and embarrass them. I often witness Brett Kavanaugh speak in demeaning manner about girls in general, as well as specific girls by name. So this is a very troubling thing to hear. It's almost like a completely different person from the Brett Kavanaugh that over 65 women have come out in support of. But let's continue. Paragraph 12 of her affidavit states, I also witnessed efforts by Mark Judge, Brett Kavanaugh, and others. The others don't have names. That's curious. To cause girls to become inebriated and disoriented so they could be gang raped in a side room or bedroom by a train. Train is more than 2 people. Of numerous boys. When you word it like that, it just sounds like 8 people. I mean, it sounds like at least 5 or 6. It doesn't sound like just Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh. Okay? There's a train of boys, and I'm quoting here, numerous boys. But she doesn't remember. Her memory, it seems like she only remembers the name of Brett Kavanaugh and Mark Judge. Continuing on, I have a firm recollection of seeing boys. It's always the innocuous boys. Why is it just boys instead of, give me names, John, Billy, Dave. I need names. Give some validity to your claim, please. I would love to believe you. Again, I have a firm recollection of seeing boys lined up outside rooms at many of these parties waiting for their turn with a girl inside the room. These boys included Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh. So it sounds like these boys, including Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh, there's a lot of people that you don't recall or you're not willing to name. It sounds kind of political. I mean, I'm not saying that it is, I'm not saying that you're a Democrat operative trying to besmirch a man, destroy his family, his reputation, his job, 35 years of work that he's done in the public service. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but it sounds really strange that you only remember Brett and Mark, but you say there are a line of boys, a train of boys, numerous boys waiting in line for their turn. Paragraph 13. In approximately 1982, I became the victim of one of these gang or train rapes where Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh were present. So they're present. Were they participating? Were they in the party? It's very, it's a very questionable statement there. In approximately 1982, I became the victim of one of these gang or train rapes where Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh were present. Shortly after the incident, I shared what had transpired with at least 2 other people. During the incident, I was incapacitated without my consent and unable to fight off the boys. Once again, no names. It makes it so hard to believe you because everyone else is just a faceless boy. You only remember Brett Kavanaugh and Mark Judge, but what about the train of boys? Okay, tell you what. Just give me one boy in one of those lines waiting his turn in one of the 10 parties you went to. Okay? Just one. And so she says, during the incident, I was incapacitated without my consent, unable to fight off the boys raping me. I believed I was drugged using Quaaludes or something similar placed in what I was drinking. I am aware of other witnesses and can attest to the truthfulness of the statements above. That's amazing. So, what I like, first of all, there's a few questions. You went to 10 parties where girls were getting ran trains on, and it was a normal occasion. You said that you saw numerous times where there were a train of boys outside room waiting for their turn. They were outside waiting their turn to be with these girls. At numerous parties? It makes me wonder, is there something wrong with you? I'm totally confused. Julie Swetnick, that's a very strange thing. So, you went to 10 of these parties, you saw boys in line waiting their turn. Just one. I'd like the name of 1 or 2 of these numerous boys who are waiting to gang rape these girls. Seems the only names you can remember are Brett Kavanaugh and Mark Judge, and that really lends credibility to this being a Democratic coup. And, I'm a critically thinking person. If you came with some evidence, this morning when I was at work and Michael Avenatti's goofy face popped up on my Twitter feed, I was like, holy crap. Is this something real? And then I read it and I was like, no. And then when they start to look into your background, Julie, Brett Kavanaugh's third accuser, Julie Swetnick, was sued in 2001 for domestic violence against a man named Richard Vicini in Miami-Dade County, according to court records. Swetnick was also sued for defamation by the company Web Trends Corporation in 2000, according to court documents. Those two are very questionable things. Brett Kavanaugh doesn't have anything like that in his background. So if I were to just go based on, what I know just at this minute, Brett Kavanaugh's track record with tons of people coming out to speak and vouch for his credibility, and yours coming out and saying that, hey, man, there was a ton of guys, trains of them, in fact, at 10 different parties, and I have a very great memory of this situation. But out of all 10 trains, I can only remember 2 people who were just present during my particular incident. It's very questionable. And then when you look at the fact that a background search of you reveals 2 liens, including a 2014 federal tax lien of $40,303 and also a comptroller of Maryland Annapolis lien for $62,821.03. It's funny what people might do for money. Not saying that you are, but I'm sure there have been incidents in the past where people were paid to come out and besmirch a person's character for political gain. This might be one of them. Release the names of the other boys who were at these 10 parties who were in the train waiting their turn to give a little validity to your claim. The fact that you just throw out boys, trains of boys, but only remember with your magnanimous memory Brett Kavanaugh and Mark Judge makes you look like a liar. Please share this video on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere that you use social media. And remember, we do this for the Republic.